I moved all those quick little demos to a file called quickdemos.js in case you want to mess with it later. I'm going to probably organize this a little better before you have to download it, just a heads up. But this lesson, I want to talk to you about something called the DOM, D-O-M, and that stands for Document Object Model. Now, fortunately, with jQuery, the document object model, the most kind of blends to an easy definition. We could just assume our HTML is our document object model, and if that's all you want to understand for just writing jQuery, that's fine, and you can use those two terms interchangeably. But if you want the real full answer on what the DOM isn't really your HTML, it's a map of your HTML. And let me go ahead and explain with an example. So pretty easy, don't overthink this, but imagine you had a web page that was, and here's a dead simple one, where all we have, and just to indent it to make it even easier to visualize, we have a declared document, which we're saying is HTML5. We have HTML, a head, and a body with nested elements. Dead simple. Now, the DOM would be, imagine you were going to take this and turn it into bullet points. So you were going to say bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3, bullet 4, and you were going to turn this into literally bullet points, like a visual representation, a map. You would get something that looks like this. And you can see this here has everything from above. Let me see if I can get this on one page. Might be easier. Okay. So we have our document and we have our HTML with a head and a body. Inside our head, we have three types: meta, title, and this link attribute, where even text is being outlined here. So we know we have text and it's being outlined as I am a title. Each attribute, it doesn't matter if it's on meta, we're making sure it's all part of our outline. We've essentially created a map of our HTML, aka the document object model. And each of these individual things, just for official terminology, are called nodes. If you remember from our JS object course, this should probably kind of look maybe something like, this is probably going to be messy. Let me see if I can get it working. But maybe it's starting to look like a JavaScript object. And that's because that's what it is. So I have copy and paste it over here. You can kind of see where we're going with this. We're mapping the HTML and we're trying to turn it into an object so that we can do stuff with it. And if we go a little bit further here, the DOM, or the document, is, for our purposes, if we console log document, or actually I'll do it through power just because that's easier. So we can do console log power, or document, excuse me, refresh the page. We kind of have access to our document. If I wanted to, we could do, what if we wanted access to the head? You can see we're getting information about the head. If we want information about the body, let's get rid of the other one. Oh. You can kind of see where we're going with this. Let's see why that's not working. Document.body. Well, you can kind of see where this is going. This isn't a perfect example, but kind of get you the idea here. Now, if we would bring back this example, if we would bring back this example, the document lives inside of another object called the window. And then that lives in another object called the navigator. And navigator. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is maybe full map presentation of your, when a user comes here, This is a full map presentation of what's going to be happening. The navigator is all information about the current browser. So this is going to be Chrome. The window is all information about kind of like the current page or the session, which is going to be, we could just say for now, the URL. And then the document is all our HTML. And we should be able to log here, navigator, window, and document. So if I log this, that's a lot, probably too much to digest at one time. So let's just start with navigator. You can kind of see we have an object here with access to the browser and all the browser meta information. And we know how to extract information from an object from all the previous examples. So if I wanted to get a current user's type of browser, that's called a user agent, we can do something like this. We can say user agent, log it, and we know that this is the current browser where it says Chrome version 65 using Safari. And we would be able to parse this string and figure out what browser our user is using. If you wanted to now log the window, we have information about all these different things tied to like the overall global scope of the project, which just for our purposes, we're going to say, let's just reference it as the URL. So we could do window.location, which is one of these objects here. Way down here. Where is it? Right here. So we're going to do, let's log window.location and see what information it gives us. So it's giving us information about the current page, the URL, so we can get the href. I put a hashbang here called test, so we could get the information if somebody's doing test. So now maybe you've seen how people do scrolling, or they do like on page load if it says go to section 2 on a website with a hashtag. You can kind of see how people are reading that information in their JavaScript code. It's here. There's all this information about the URL. And if we wanted to even force somebody, we could say, for example, the current page is here. But if we wanted to say, no, the current page is not there, the current page is going to be google.com. On page load, everything's going to happen, and then I'm going to change the current page to Google. So now it just moved me, and I can't go back because every time JavaScript's moving there. And that's how you kind of do redirects. Hopefully you understand how everything's just an object, and then finally it goes down to the next level, which is instead of window, document. But fortunately, jQuery makes this entire thing super easy, and that's kind of how the DOM works. I know that was a lot to take in. At least you know the easy layman example of it, and now a more complex, detailed example of it.